What's going on, everybody? Captain Granite back here again with a new motovlog. And this time, we're just out riding, having some fun. My brother-in-law just got married today. We got to go to his wedding. And we're out riding with them. They're in front of us here. And then we got my mother and father-in-law in front of them. And you know, congratulations to them. They've been together for, I think it's like 7 or 8 years now. So I'm really happy for them. So this brings me to a subject that I heard on the radio not too long ago, but what is the most money you would pay for a first date? And that had me thinking back, like, you know, all the dates that I've been on, how much I spent. And I mean, I've taken a girl to McDonald's and had her order off the dollar menu. Like, that's how bad the date was going. Like, it was just awful. So, I mean, I've gone down that route. But the most I think I've ever spent on a first date would probably be somewhere in the ballpark of $150, $200 would be my guess. I know I took a girl out to a nice restaurant, and I think the bill, I mean, appetizer, entree, dessert, I believe it was somewhere around, I think it was like 75, 80 bucks. So, I mean, it wasn't that huge of a bill. I mean, it was when I included tip. It was like 100 something bucks plus with the tip. So, and then, I mean, I took that one girl out, and, you know, even just the car ride was miserable. I was like, this is awful. And that's why she ended up getting the dollar menu. Nice little pond area. Some gooses. She's pointing at gooses, I think.
Look at all those chickens.
Yeah, so that was a bad date. That was a really bad date. I never saw her again. The issue was, and I found out about this later, and this was my first date ever on meeting someone through a dating app. And she seemed really nice. I mean, and then meeting her, she just put off this, like, kind of I'm being secretively guarded. And come to find out, she was actually like 4 or 5 months pregnant, something like that. And she had actually had a substance abuse problem that she went to rehab for. And at the end of the day, she actually asked me for money. And no, she was not a prostitute. I don't think. Maybe? No. My wife now, not my wife later, no. My wife, our first date, you know, I did meet her on a dating app. I've actually had met her once before. But she was dating this one guy, and they she was on the phone texting him, and she barely gave me like the time of day when I was like, oh, hi, I'm Chad. And nope, just nothing. Just like, oh, hey, and then back to her phone. That was our first meeting. However, like 6 or 7 months passed, and I came across her on the dating app, and I'm like, you know what? I recognize her. And I just said, you know, I said, hey, how's it going? I think I've met you before. You're such and such's friend. No response. And then she actually worked with my friend, and something in the road. She worked with my friend, and she goes, oh my God, I've been trying to get you two together for like ever. You need to message him back. So she messaged me back, and pretty much the rest is history. I took her out to see a movie. We went and saw Thor. I think it was the second one. Thor: The Dark World. And I can't remember if we went out to eat beforehand. I want to say that we did. I think overall the date was maybe $100, if that, maybe 80. See these? They're getting tickets for going on the trails. You can't, they closed down all the trailheads, so now if they catch you on them, they're getting fined $1,000. I think it's up to $1,000. I'm not sure if it is $1,000, but I know they said $1,000 on the news. But back to how much money I spent on my women's. So I only spent like 8,500, maybe, I don't know, on her for our first date, and she ended up getting sick like a few days after we went out to eat, like with the cold. This is pre-COVID-19, and I felt really bad, and I was just like, oh, you're sick, you know, because we were gonna go out again, I believe, and you know, I wanted her to get better, so I actually went up to Walgreens, I think it was Walgreens or CVS Pharmacy, one of the two, and I put together a get better basket. So I put in like soup, ginger ale, crackers, like Dayquil, NyQuil, stuff like that. So I was kind of a sweetheart, you know. I'm gonna pat myself, you know, on the shoulder here. You know, I did good. I did good. So my question is to you guys, how much is too much on a first date? Or how much have you spent on a first date? I'd love to know in the comments, because I feel like people have gone above and beyond what I have done, and it hasn't gone past the first date. So I'm curious, just how much money did you invest into a first date? And if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. I'm just kind of curious what the average is. So that really does it for this video. I just, you know, it's one of those thoughts that I had in my head that just I saw, or well, heard on the radio. And I was really curious to what other people have done and spent. So I thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't already, hit that like button, you know, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to, you know. I never tell anyone to subscribe. That's your decision. It helps me out, and I love every single one of you that has, and it fills my heart with joy. So, alright, until the next one, this is Captain Granite, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.